So hello guys, it's your boy here, Terence. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe. I've got several things to talk about today. The first thing is actually, let's just say I've got one thing to talk about: accommodation in Australia, or rather Sydney, because that's where I am. So before you come to Australia, the first thing you need to know is how you're going to be accommodated. It's kind of difficult or very hard like to get accommodation here if you're not going to the school plan or something. Yeah, so what most of the people do, if you can't get accommodation, you're going to school, like you'll call the school, then go to the school accommodation, but they are always expensive. Always people will want to like get not pay so much to the rent, and now that you're a student you can't just go to the school accommodation. It's going to be very difficult for you in terms of money and everything. So the best thing that you should do, you should first have somebody who will help you out, who will show you around, who is going to like get a room for you that's going to be much cheaper. Or if you're going to stay at that person's place for, let's say, a few days or a few months, then you move. Yeah, so and actually also getting an accommodation here, it's now the hardest thing. It's like trying to apply for a job in Kenya. It's very hard. Yeah, so for me, for my journey, how it was, I had my cousins. My cousin accommodated me for a few months. Then from there, I was to look for my own place, the place that I'm going to be living. I had to like look all around, try to get somebody who is going to like give me a room, because the other thing I was not going to do, I was not going to like I couldn't manage like to have my own house or anything, so I needed to do a shared accommodation. So I went and found this place. There's this lady who was giving out the house. Actually, remember I had done like several. I had moved around severally, going to see houses. Yeah, but when you get there, like it's either it's not what you want, or those guys just complicate things. So it was somehow difficult, very difficult. And remember that time I'm looking for a house, you are just about to like do a final exam, you are around that corner. So the thing that I did, I went and found this house, and when I spoke to that lady, she was like, yeah, you can get the house. So I was like, the way you always do, like you just don't get the house when you get there. So I was like, I need to go home, then I'll communicate to you. Then I just remembered like finding this house, now that this lady has already agreed, finding if I don't get it is going to be so hard for me to get another house, because every place I was going, they could tell me like they could just complicate things. I don't know what was going on, but they could just complicate things. So yeah, so just before I left, there's this other guys who were coming to see the house, and I was like, nah, like I just want now this house chasing thing to like just go away. So I just told that lady, nah, you just tell them I've already gotten this house. So after that, I needed to paid some deposit, some, here they call it bond, 2 weeks bond. That's a fortnight. My house was also paying. I was paying per week. So after paying the bond, she was like, you need to stay here for, I think, she says 3 months or something. If you don't stay here for 3 months, you won't get your bond, blah, 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 all those things. And mind you, the moment I was getting into that house, I already knew like, no, I won't stay here for that long. All I wanted is just a place. Like, all I wanted was just to move out and like have my space. And this was the only way that I was going to move out. So I took that house, stayed there for a few days. I was working, doing school, finishing exams, blah blah blah. So after I had done like all those things, now I was now free. Now I started looking now for a house. Mind you, I just stayed there for I think a month. So I now started looking for another house. And now, because now I was like somehow settled. I was now looking for a studio or one bedroom or something like that. So I did my research, like I talked to my friends. Then one of the friends was like, just go to Facebook Market and you might get a place there. So mind you, I always used Facebook Market, but now I had like stopped using it because for the other time when I was looking for a house, it took them like so long for me to get that house. So I said, okay. Just there, I went to Facebook Market, looked for a house. Then yeah, I got a room. It was a studio. Like in Kenya, we call it bed sitter. Though this one had a kitchen aside, then you had your bedroom. Yeah, the bedroom was kind of big. The kitchen was also not so big, but also you could fit some. I had fitted my 2 chairs there. Yeah, I got chairs, I got a bed, and all those things. Remember the other house that was shared accommodation? I just got in. He didn't have a lot of things on my back or anything. So now I come to this house. I needed to have my bed. Uh, Luckily, it had a fridge, a microwave, and a washing machine. So when I got there, like I just needed my bed, my study desk, what else, and my other things. But the major things like the washing machine, the microwave, and the fridge, it was there. But remember now, this house, because it's a studio, it's so expensive, very expensive. Like it was expensive. That's all I can say. Every time I used to pay that rent, I was like, nah, man, this is a lot. But because the house looked cool, the house was fine, I was like, anyways, because we are also working, we also need some good environment when we go back home. Yeah, so I'm going to show you a video of that house. I think, yeah, this is the video of the house. You can just have a look at how it is and how it was. So later on, I stayed at that house, I think, for another 2 months. Actually, there's something that I'm forgetting to tell you guys. Because I was not going to, I didn't stay at the first house for 3 months. I needed to, like, when I was moving out, I told that lady, like, am I going to get my deposit back? And she was like, nah, Terence, because you didn't go with the plans, with our agreement, no, you're not going to get that deposit back. But because I used to pay my rent on time, I never had issues. Then she just told me, like, because you had paid for 2 weeks, now you're going to, I'll just give you a deposit. You're bond for 1 week back. I'm going to take the other one. So it's like, okay, no problem. At least I've got this money again. So now in this house that I came in, I also had to pay the bond. Yeah, it was kind of high. I did that. Then after staying here I stayed for around I think 2 months, 2 months, 1 week. Actually, first it was 2 months. Then my G was also moving out. He was still living at his place where they hosted him. He was also moving out. So we say, like, let's now start looking for 2 bedroom. Yeah, it was also the same. We went all around trying to look for 2 bedrooms. Yeah, it was kind of challenging. And remember, we also didn't want to work with the agents, because when you go to the agent, you need to supply your pay slips, a lot of paperwork. We all don't love doing this paperwork things. So we say, like, nah, we are just going to look for landlords, private landlords, talk to them, then show them our pay slips. If they'll need it, then we'll get the house. So now we are here looking for a 2 bedroom house or a 3 bed. Because I'm actually a photographer, so if I say I'm also looking for a 3 bed, you can understand what I mean. So we looked around, got some houses, tried to apply for them. It was challenging, whatever. Like, getting a house here is like applying for a job in Kenya, man. So and then all of a sudden, my G Ian got he met with these guys who he used to work with. Then he told them, I'm looking for a house. And then they were like, yeah, our friend is giving out a house. So he came here. Now this house that you are currently in, it's a 3 bedroom, uh, kind of sizable, everything. Yeah, so the house was good. It was nicely painted white. So when we came here, yeah, like yeah, we knew like now this is what we want. And then the rent was also, we also got the rent. It was affordable now for the two of us. Yeah, so we came here, looked around, got the house. Now when I got the house, I was supposed now to move from the other place. Then that lady was like, you need to give me a 2 months notice. Now remember, for now this house, uh, we didn't do those agreements that you need to stay here for don't know how long. So she was just like, no, Terence, you need to give me a 2 weeks notice. You remember I gave her 1 week. So okay, I told her, okay, no worries. Let it be now those 2 weeks. So that's how I ended up living at that place for 2 months, 1 week. Then after there, we started moving things here. First, we didn't have this house was like empty. I think I'll show you a video of how it was before, then a video of how it is right now. It was like empty. So we started like bringing in, getting money, bringing in the fridge. We started with the fridge and the washing machine. Those were the first things. Then from there, we got these seats. Like I think the main thing was just the fridge and the washing machine. We got these seats. We got our table there. We got our microwave later on. We got a lot of things. We got the beds now when we're now finally moving in. Remember, I already had my bed. Yeah. So from there now, this is our house. It's a 3 bed. Yeah. So I'm sharing this house with my friend. We are like two of us here, and the other room, obviously, it's a studio. It's my studio. I'm going to walk you around. You'll see how beautiful this place is. Yeah. So like that's life here. That I think it took us like 6 months for us to like own our own house, rather than sharing. Okay, for me, it took me I think maybe 4, because I already had the studio thing that I had the bed seat or something. But now that was a small thing. Now this is the thing, man. Yeah. Like I don't know if you're ever going to move out of this place. I just don't know. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. Um, that's all for today. But all I can just say, if you're coming to Australia first, you need to like know how you're going to be accommodated here. It's kind of tricky, very very challenging.